Alright, so I just finished the Reverie, meaning I finished Whole Cake and the Reverie, and I'm starting Wano when I watch the next episode, episode 892. So I thought I would do a little like Whole Cake and Reverie review, and then stuff I expect of Wano. So let's start off with the bad things that I wish that they did better in Whole Cake. There are only two things I can think that they did bad in Whole Cake. Number one is the pacing, obviously. Like, I'm not one that minds pacing at all. Pacing is like is the least important thing to me. Like, as long as there's new content, I really don't care about the pacing. Sure, getting the reaction of every single side character within each scene is really, really annoying, but I can handle it because it's still new content. But at the same time, when you're being chased by Big Mom for 30 episodes and getting nowhere close to Cacao Island, it's really annoying. Same thing with Luffy versus Katakuri. It's a really good fight, but I do think it's a tad bit overrated. Because I think the last 10 to 15 episodes are the only good episodes of that fight. Like, the only good moments of that fight was when Luffy went Gear 4 for the first time. Then I guess, let's start with Flambe. She's annoying. She's a really annoying character. So what Katakuri did was kind of peak. And then that moment onward, it was just peak after peak. Speaking of the Luffy versus Katakuri fight, I could have sworn Luffy's gotten himself, like, killed 3 times in that fight. He should have died 3 times. But good old plot armor is here to save the day. And again, that's like every single shonen protagonist. I shouldn't be surprised. The last thing I didn't like about Whole Cake was just the lack of deaths. Now sure, there's a lot of like minor deaths, like, you know, the chess piece soldiers and the homies, but that's it. Like, no major character really died. And spoiler warning for Whole Cake, if you're not caught up on it, there are only 2 like really major deaths I can actually think of. Number 1 is most obvious, it's Pedro. And then number 2 is King Bomb. And that's not even like that much of an important death. It's just really sad though. Like, he was one of the top 10 most important characters in Whole Cake. Well, kind of. He's a really underrated character. King Bomb justice is very much needed. Because, like, I could have sworn one of the Charlotte family members got killed in the very beginning of Whole Cake, but then later on he just randomly appears. Like, didn't you die? Didn't Big Mom take your entire soul? Like, how are you still living? Oh yeah, because a few bandages are gonna fix what she did to you. A few bandages are gonna fix your soul that she just took from you. Like, again, this is just One Piece in general. Like, no one dies in One Piece, and if they do die, it's one of the saddest, most heartbreaking deaths in the entirety of anime. You can name me 5 deaths that you can think of off the top of your head. They are 9 out of 10. They are probably the most sad thing ever. The only death I can think of where it's not sad is Horty Jones, and yet I don't even know if he's dead. I know he was just decaying at a supersonic rate, so he probably just disintegrated. But that's the only non-sad death I can think of. But now time for the good, and there's a lot of good. The first thing I really liked about Whole Cake was the quality of animation. It's not my favorite art style, but the quality of the animation, like how fluent it was pretty good. I liked it. But I didn't like the animation style. See, those are 2 different things. The quality of the animation and the animation style are 2 completely different things. I liked the animation, how well it, just was flowing. I did not like the animation style, though. Next thing I liked about Whole Cake was just all the characters you got introduced to. Like, sure, most of them were Charlotte's and, or Big Mom's children. You got introduced to, like, 40 different Charlotte family members, and, like, 38 of them don't even matter that much. There are only, like, 5 that you actually care about. And that would be Pudding, Katakuri, Oven to a degree, Smoothie to a degree, and then Cracker? Pudding, Katakuri, Smoothing, Cracker to a degree, Oven to a degree, then I guess I would say, like, Mont d'Or? I don't know. Now that I think about it, only 2 of them really mattered. That's Pudding and Katakuri. All the rest were kind of just there, and kind of forgettable. The next thing I liked about Whole Cake was just, they had nothing but banger openings. Even the worst opening of Whole Cake, which is the first one you get introduced to, it's still a banger. Then you have Hope, which is an obvious banger and probably my favorite of that saga. And then you have that one's also a really good song. The last thing I really liked about Whole Cake was just the story and plot of the Whole Cake arc in general, which is, Sanji and all the stuff surrounding him. It was a really fun journey to watch all that. And then we get to the Reverie, and I'm gonna be honest, maybe this is a hot take, I didn't really like the Reverie that much. It was just recap. And all the fresh new content we got was kind of, it was good content. Like, the Celestial Dragon stuff with him punching Charlos. Again, you have my respect. Anyone that's willing to punch Charlos, you have my respect till I die. Charlos is the worst character in all of One Piece. And the things that he would have done to Shirahoshi if he succeeded, I would have quit One Piece if he succeeded in taking Shirahoshi. I would have just quit. I would have quit. So thank you, Don Quixote Majorn, or whatever your name is. Whatever your name is, thank you. Now that I think about it, you're part of the Don Quixote family. The Don Quixote family hates being Celestials. I've cracked the code. Also, something I really liked about the Reverie, even though I didn't like it as an arc, I liked seeing, for instance, Vivi, Rebecca, the Dentadas, all these people that know Luffy come together and just talk about how much they like Luffy, as how much they respect him, how he saved their country from doom. Also, seeing, I guess, another good part of the recap, if I had to choose my favorite part of the recap, was seeing all that old stuff reanimated into the newer quality of animation. I'll give them props. It was pretty cool. To watch the Crocodile versus Luffy fight in that style of animation, it was pretty good, okay? I'll give it to you. It was a pretty good fight. Also, the stuff with Emu and the Gorosei, and then whatever Shanks is doing. Matter of fact, speaking of Shanks, why did we only see half of Shanks' face? Was that Shanks? Does Shanks have a twin brother? Is that twin brother named Shamrock? Okay, so maybe I've been spoiled on the manga just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. Yeah. I've been spoiled on the manga quite a bit. So I know that probably wasn't Shanks. But now that it is... Wait, didn't Shamrock get an official coloring? So, was that Shanks? I don't know. But I'm really curious to see what pirate Shanks is talking about. I have two suspicions. One, it's either Luffy, obviously, or two, it's probably Blackbeard. The reason I think it might be Blackbeard is because they didn't show the side of his face. If it was Shanks, they didn't show the side of his face with the scars. So I'm assuming they're trying to, hint in some way that it's Blackbeard. I don't know. But getting back to Emu, Emu's got aura. To one, make the 5 elders bow to them, and then to sit on the throne of emptiness. Aura! That is some straight aura! But that's really all there is that's good about the Reverie. Everything else is just recap. And I'm gonna be honest, recap episodes are worse than filler episodes. Because at least with filler episodes, you get new content that you can actually watch and have no idea what might happen. Recap, you know what happened. And I'm not one to rewatch a show. If I watch it once, there's a really small chance I'll watch it again. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't watched a single show in its entirety ever. I haven't ever rewatched an entire show. Sure, I went back to a certain episode and rewatched it. But sometimes I just skip around the episode to find the part I want to rewatch. I've never rewatched a show in its completion. So I need to figure out what I'm going to do, because I have problems rewatching a show. I physically can't do it. So that's probably why I hate recap episodes. But now that we're done talking about the bore that was the Reverie and the pretty good arc, which was the Whole Cake arc, time for my expectations of Wano. Now, I've seen a bunch of reactions to episode 10-15, so I've seen the animation, I've heard one of the openings, so I expect really good things of Wano. And I know it's 300-something episodes, so it better be good. What I expect of Wano is banger openings through the entirety, because if you're going to make me sit through 300 episodes, each and every episode better be a banger. I expect the most stunning animation I've ever seen, which I know they have. The last thing I expect is a new cast of characters, fun characters, whether that's new, fresh characters that we haven't seen ever before and getting introduced into this arc, or returning characters that are fan favorites. So I'm pretty sure Kid's coming back, Law's coming back. I don't know who else is coming back, but characters coming back, new fresh cast of characters. Because that's what One Piece does best, is give you the best cast of characters in every arc. People say One Piece has the worst art style. I think One Piece has the best character designs, just comparatively to the big three, has the worst written characters, but the best character designs. Just in my opinion. That's probably a hot take. Because look at the character designs. They're not like your average Naruto and Bleach character designs. Not just a regular person with distinct features. Like, they're all unique character designs, which I really like about One Piece. And Wano really shows that, because I've seen some of the character designs, like, I've seen Kaido a bunch of times. He looks sick. I've seen this one character named Yamato. They look awesome. And then Marco's redesign, pretty good. So in general, I expect good animation, banger openings, a fun cast of characters to enjoy through these 300 episodes of Wano, and I expect it to be really fun. Really funny, but really serious, and really emotional. That's what I expect of Wano. So if you've seen Wano, let me know in the comments. Is that the case? Because if not, I might have to drop One Piece here. Because I don't know if I can sit through 300. Now that I think about it, I've sat through 800 episodes of this series, and I've enjoyed every arc to some point besides the Long Ring Long Land arc. Now, I get that's a pretty funny arc. I just skipped to the Afro Luffy fight and got it over with, as I continued watching. The GA arc's better than the Foxy arc, I'm not gonna lie. Fight me on that. Hopefully this 300 episode journey is worth it, and if it's not, I'm gonna have to drop One Piece. And I really don't want to do that. But why am I even saying this? No, I'm not dropping One Piece, even if I don't make it through the 300 episodes. I'll just take a break. I've made it 800 episodes this far. I'm not dropping One Piece. But let me know your thoughts on Wano if you've seen it. And yeah. Goodbye.